Hello and welcome back to the BroadBoys podcast. I'm Cade. This is Micah. We've been up to a lot of stuff in gaming. We did watch some movies, but mainly gaming. I want to start off strong with just a quick Skyrim appreciation, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I played Skyrim before and I loved it. But this time I'm playing it again. And I'm playing it again with mods. So Skyrim's one of those games, as any Bethesda RPG, where you have tons of different mods and a big modding community. Even Starfield, and Bethesda enables it a lot, and that helps. But even Starfield has like Star Wars mods, which are fun.
Yeah.
But something unlocked in me when I was modding, where I was enjoying modding almost as much as playing the game. Like I was playing Mod Organizer 2. And I would check on Skyrim to see how good I was doing in Mod Organizer 2.
Yeah.
I have around 200 right now activated, which probably rookie numbers. But for a first time,
does it run well?
Oh, it runs great. I'm hitting over 90.
That's all you need.
And I'm trying to go for all achievements. So it's a very leisurely run. I'm not really, pressed for time or anything. It's kind of been my comfort food.
Just enjoying it.
Yes.
That's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Always coming around to the Skyrim gameplay is always great.
See, I never found myself in that cycle. I didn't realize that Skyrim was one of those games that people just play, every so often.
Yeah, you just re-download it and play it.
Like that's Minecraft, and I know a lot of people that do that with Minecraft, but I haven't heard about that with Skyrim. But I get it. Well, with mods, at least I get it.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, that is awesome.
Yeah, there's always more to do.
I want to start another one and just switch out my combat for Elden Ring, or it's called like Skyden. Or
my favorite mod is the one that changes all the dragons to Thomas the Tank Engine.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
That's
and then it plays the theme song every time they land.
I know. Yeah. I've not encountered that one yet, but I haven't really gotten into the model swaps or anything. I was just going for a traditional Skyrim experience, but kind of like a redefined,
just enhanced,
an enhanced Skyrim, And I've been having a lot of fun. A lot of like, enhanced NPCs, some HUD changes, a lot of retextures, and that was really fun. Finding a lot of different things. Like, oh, I forgot about that thing, or I'd play a bit. I was like, man, that saber cat looks really bad. Let me just stop playing and load up, go to Nexus, and then find the texture. I'm like, yeah,
for a better saber cat,
and it felt great to do that. I don't know. There's a lot of games I feel like the tools that go alongside are about as much fun as the actual game.
Just really enhance your experience every step of the way.
Yes, but there's a lot of games on my list, and Skyrim was one of those things where like I wasn't expecting to play it, but I'm glad I am.
Doesn't the whole game just feel good? Like every side quest feels good.
Dude, like, I think it has some of the best like side content. Well, I mean, all Bethesda RPGs are like basically all side content.
Yeah,
but it's like I love the different factions.
Yeah. Don't you love not having a game where every third side quest is just a fetch quest?
I wouldn't say that about Skyrim. There's a lot of go here, do kill, go back.
Yeah. But it all has a story. It's all baked in, and it doesn't feel like a fetch quest.
Yeah. All right. I will say I was very impressed with. I think this was a modded quest, but I was super impressed because it felt like it could have been the base game. But it was a quest called like the Paper Mirror, and someone can correct me if I'm talking about base game or modded. But the quests start by you get a book, and the book talks about you finding the book, and it's talking about and then you go here and you do this. So you go to the place, talk to the guy, and you realize, and you get into an altercation after helping him out, and you realize he has a copy of the book too, but it's a different version. And it's talking about what he's gonna do, and blah blah blah. And so it was really cool because the way to progress in the quest is you had to actually read the books, which. That's the only book I've probably read in the whole game. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. And so you read the book and it tells you, and then you go here and it's like, okay.
Interesting.
Cool.
That is not base game.
I know. Yeah, I figured. But I thought that was like, that's just an experience that I just had off the cuff through the mods. And I was like, man, that's a really cool idea. And the way that they executed that quest was awesome. And it really made me like, dang, I appreciate that.
I've played a lot of added quests, and I will say, for the most part, a lot of these modders, it feels like you're just playing Skyrim.
Yes. In fact, sometimes I can tell it's modded when they have too much dialogue, or it's like man, this is too good.
It's better than the base game.
Yeah, or I mean, the voice actors are also a giveaway a lot of the time because you know you have like pretty insanely talented voice actors that do some of these modded quests.
Yeah,
I haven't added any like expansion sized mods except for Legacy of the Dragonborn because that's more of like a museum. Like find your relics, fill out your stuff. That's been a lot of fun. It's a little intimidating thinking if I keep going down that route, I'm gonna spend like probably hundreds and hundreds of hours doing that. I doubt I'll do that personally, but
it's always nice to come back to your save game.
I know that's what the road is looking like because I'm really enjoying it, and I love all the different cities, and I love all the different like I'm going through each of the major holds before I do the Civil War because I want to see how the Civil War changes.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to do an Imperial run, which I never usually do.
Yeah, but I don't either. They're always so lame.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I was thinking about it more. I was like, the Thalmor sucks to be under them.
Yeah,
want to kill them.
That's fair.
And I don't, in the Thalmor, whatever. This is too far in.
Yeah,
but,
too far. But I do agree. I love modded Skyrim, and I'm so glad you're taking that journey.
Yes. Even just simple things like just the better world map or like the better compass navigation stuff like fills me with so much joy knowing that like I had a personal part in applying that to my game. I don't know. It's something like it's kind of like you're building a Lego set, but you just keep finding more bricks to add, and it feels right when you put them on and stuff. I don't know. That's a weird way of putting it.
No, I feel that, man.
So that's been my gaming experience for really the past couple of weeks. It's been pretty work, Skyrim, repeat. So what about you?
I'm playing Black Myth Wukong.
Sweet. Yeah, we've been talking about that game a bit.
Yeah, I know. So. And I think it's living up to the hype.
Okay.
Quite a bit. It looks great. Like it looks really good. The combat feels really good. I will say anyone out there calling it a Souls-like is kind of goofy.
Okay.
It's a boss rush game, 100%. And yeah, you have checkpoints. Congrats. That doesn't make it a Souls-like.
Yeah. I mean, I heard there's a lot of secrets though, or secret areas.
I don't know that I would call them like secrets, right? So like when you play
or optional, maybe that might be the better way of putting it.
Because when you play like let's just say Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3 or Dark Souls 2 or Lies of P, any of these true Souls-like games, if you find something off the path, right, you feel like you've found something cool, right?
Okay.
In this one, you don't. At least I don't feel like I'm finding things. I'm just choosing a different path.
Does it still bring you to
Yeah, you still fight a boss. You still collect something.
But is that like an alternate route, or do you have to go back to the main path?
You still have to go back to the main path.
So yeah, it's an optional area.
It's optional, but you're not discovering an optional area.
Okay, but like
you're choosing to do it.
But that's so you would. So, but then I don't know. I think that's still a secret. I think we've been so influenced by the Dark Souls 3 roll into this wall, do this gesture.
It doesn't
in front of this statue.
It just doesn't feel like a secret because you walk up to it and you're like, there's a dirt path that goes that way and there's a stone path that goes that way.
Okay.
I'm very obviously supposed to follow the stone path, but I'm going to go take the dirt path. Oh, look, there's an optional boss.
That's cool.
It doesn't feel like a secret.
Yeah.
You just decided to go down a different path.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't call it a Souls-like. That being
it's an action
said,
game.
It's an action game. It's a boss rush. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. The armor sets look really sick.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. The customization.
It all looks really sick. Well, it's not really. So you're supposed to, when you unlock a new armor set. At least I'm almost halfway through the game now. So
okay.
I'm finished the first couple bosses in chapter 2 out of the 4 chapters. So I feel pretty good. Like you can set up a nice kit because you have loadout. So you have different spells and such. And you can like tweak them just a little bit to your playstyle or whatever, and whatever stance you want to use. But at the end of the day, I understand that it takes skill, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call it hard. And maybe that's just because I've come from playing
more traditional
Souls games, because I have seen a lot of people saying that it's hard, you know. And I'm like,
yeah, I mean, you gotta think about general audience. I mean, like this game sold.
But the general audience freaking played Elden Ring.
They did,
yeah.
So, but you know, there's tools there, like summons and other things. Yeah, I mean, I've heard things like there's side quests that you can do, like completely optional side quests that'll bring you to different bosses that are completely optional.
There's like a secret armor set that you do from going to find like these bells in there, and you fight an optional boss at the end of it, and it's kind of cool, right? But if it also is like, if I didn't listen to the dialogue and still just played the game, I probably would have found it anyway.
Okay.
I think it doesn't feel secret.
Okay.
It's one of those progression things where you fight a big boss and you just keep moving on, and it's very easy to say miss something and not go back to it.
Okay.
But if you're like looking to find everything, you're not gonna be spending too much time out of your way to like look for it.
So what's been okay? Well, that's like it's not really an exploration game, more of a linear like boss rush game. What's been like your favorite moment or boss?
So far my favorite boss has been so the opening fight is a tutorial. So it's like a tutorial cutscene, but you feel good. It's a really great way to introduce people to the game. I think that's excellent.
Yeah, because there's a lot of games that try to do that, but you'd say Wukong does that pretty well.
I think it does it very well. Like it encourages you to try your abilities without saying try your abilities, because you're fighting a boss to start the game.
Yeah.
I really liked how the game started. I fought a dog. That was pretty cool. A bear. That was pretty cool.
Just a dog and a bear?
They were big dog and big bear.
Big dog.
I will say the size of some of these enemies is great. There's just one little bit of jank, and it's that they can very easily sort of just like pin you in a corner. You can't walk around them because they're very large entities and you run into them.
I thought you said it was easy.
I think that's more of like a game flaw than anything else. I don't necessarily.
You don't think that the developers intended people to be in that situation?
No, I don't think it's an intended mechanic to get like body blocked in a corner.
Yeah, I've also heard complaints about the camera as well. Would you concur?
I haven't had an issue yet. I had one time where a boss came and jumped over me, and my camera spasmed trying to follow it because it jumped over, and I dodged back underneath it, and my camera did not track the boss and myself very well. But I've only had one instance of that. So
yeah, I mean, it's definitely on my playlist. We'll see how far I get on that. But
I mean, 10 million copies sold in 3 days.
Pretty wild.
The #1 played game on Steam with concurrent players. I don't think it's ever, but I think it's pretty close.
I don't know how it reached the general audience so well.
I mean, there were a lot of news articles about it, and there's a controversy here, a controversy there. It's a Chinese game. They take your data, but it's also a mobile game studio doing their first online game, and it looks great, and they haven't showed gameplay. It's all been like teaser trailers. I mean, there's a whole lot.
There's been a lot of talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, and people were hype about this thing for a long time.
I know.
So.
They
but 10 million in 3 days.
I know, right?
Like, I feel like that kind of is disproportional to how much people were talking about before.
I know.
I mean, I was seeing people online saying this game isn't real because, that was a big thing. It's like, I've never heard of this game, and suddenly it's like the best game ever. Yeah. What the heck happened?
It's like a fake game. I've seen people talk about it's a Chinese psyop. Like they,
I don't know. Those are probably jokes, but
I'm sure they're jokes.
But there's probably people that believe it just as well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, good for them. I mean, from what I've heard, it's a solid game. I mean, it has flaws. It's not like would you say game of the year material?
The trouble is like, I would have said Helldivers 2 is game of the year. But then they've handled development so poorly since launch that if they win it, I'd feel bad. Like, I don't think they deserve it right now. Like, they could come back and earn it, right?
Okay.
Because I think the game has merit. This one, as a released item, could very well win, and I wouldn't be upset. But there's so many other things that I think are strong contenders this year.
I mean, I think Final Fantasy VII might have it in the bag.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII. Rebirth.
Yep. I mean, even like on RPG side, Metaphor
Mhm.
Metaphor ReFantazio is still coming out in October.
Yeah.
Black Ops 6,
Space Marine 2.
Space Marine 2, Stellar Blade came out this
Yep.
year. Persona 3 Reload came out
I
this
don't
year.
think those might get nominated.
Those
but they're
are
not gonna
nominees,
win. Yeah.
but these are just games that are probably better. From what I've heard.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I wanna get to the end, and because I know cutscenes aren't everything, but the voice acting is top notch. You genuinely feel like you're playing these characters, and I like that. Where we've talked about games that feel like you're playing movies,
Yes.
right? This is a game where you feel like you're playing a movie, but you need skill to progress in the freaking movie.
well, I don't
'Cause
have
you can-
positive feelings towards that sentence, but
I'm not sure how to say it other than it feels like you're playing a cinematic
there's still a
cutscene
game
where
in
you
there.
have to,
Okay.
you have to play really hard to.
Okay,
Keep
so it's
going.
like there's the game essence is still there.
Yes.
It's still a game. It's just it has a movie add-on.
Well, I think it looks so good, and all the movements are so flawless
Yeah.
that you feel like I don't ever feel any stuttering. There is a couple points where I'll hit a button, and because the animations are so fluid, it'll lock me out of a second press.
Okay.
Which it's a learning curve from Souls games where it's like
It's
as soon
a
as your
big
animation
buffer.
reset, you
Yeah.
hit it, right?
And there's buffer systems too and all that.
It's a buffer system. It's my little pet peeve is after you do a heavy attack, he does this little twirl of his staff where it goes back behind his back, and it's like, dude, don't twirl your staff. Just
Hit
let
him
me
again.
hit him again.
That's so interesting, but
It's more of a learning thing than anything else. But
yeah, I'll have to see it for myself. Like I'm very against movie games or games that are movies right now. But I mean, even look at like other games, like just today, as of recording, Sony announced that they are pulling
Concord. I was close. It's such a dumb name.
It's a fine name.
When you look up Concord, you know what comes up?
Not the game.
The plane.
Probably.
Yep.
I mean, like they're shutting it down September 6th, 2024. The game came out August
10 days ago.
Yeah, like August 20 something.
Something, yeah.
23rd, probably.
Something like that.
Like let's just get ourselves in the minds of the people that have decided to make the game the way it is, right? So if I'm a Sony executive, right?
Yeah. You know what you tell your shareholders? What if we made another Overwatch clone?
Okay, so development did start 8 years ago.
I mean, yeah, Overwatch clones were big back then.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like they're coming back. You got Concord and Marvel's Rivals this year.
Marvel's Rivals, feels different because it's a hero shooter. It doesn't feel different.
It doesn't feel different.
But it is Marvel characters.
It is Marvel characters. Concord does not have an established IP.
No.
We watched the gameplay.
Yep.
Does not look like it has innovative gameplay. I hate the UI, by the way. I don't know if anyone has.
Are so big.
The ability buttons, it looks like it's
a mobile game.
Exactly, because I look like I'm supposed to touch it. With how big those ability buttons are.
You said it's like the Ready Player One thing where they're like, let's see how many ads we can put on your screen.
Yeah, except that's UI elements, so you can't even see the game.
I know.
Just even, you're capturing the points. The point letters are basically right in the middle of the screen.
I know.
Right, that's just the UI.
That's so bad.
But Sony put a lot of resources into getting this game out using ex-Bungie people, which is why people got excited in the first place. It's a new studio using so it was Firewall?
Yeah, Fire something.
Yep. And Ordinary Monsters.
Yep.
That created it. Even people make mid games all the time.
And they sell fine.
This game did not sell fine.
It sold less than Gollum.
Yeah. Which I mean, if you just think about that for a second, you realize something is wrong.
It sold less than Gollum, and its peak player count was shy of 1,000.
Yeah. So let's just
on
list,
Steam. I should clarify.
We should. It's a PlayStation Studios game, so there's probably more PlayStation players. Like if they did an open beta or something like that, they would have gotten more players at least at its peak than what they got right. But like I'm looking at you know, the gameplay,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty standard. It's fine, but
It was $40.
and that's probably the reason.
And there are free games with better gameplay.
Yeah.
Like it's fine gameplay, right? I wouldn't trash it as a game other than I have to pay money for it.
What's the reason to buy that game over playing Overwatch 2 for free?
Overwatch 2,
Paladins.
Paladins,
Mhm.
Name any hero shooter that's come out recently.
Valorant.
It's free to play.
Yeah. It's like I also feel like, now this could just be my experience, but
Mhm.
I think the resources for like pre-release besides development, I mean, this game opened a PlayStation State of Play like 3-4 months ago.
Yeah, with a fully animated
with a 10-minute
short,
like, oh my gosh, they spend so much time
and money.
instead of I mean,
And they're offering full refunds with the shutdown.
yeah, because it's like
They are making $0
yeah,
on this.
so I don't know how you come back from that. But it's $40. It doesn't have anything really unique that I saw, at least gameplay wise. They didn't have a pull. You know, like why would I do it?
It's crazy that they would do a live service game. Now, I've talked openly about how I dislike battle passes.
All the content was going to be free post-launch.
Yeah, all the content was going to be free post-launch, and I think to myself, how do you manage a live service game?
By making it cost $40.
I don't get it, right? Like, you make it cost $40 for a game that functions like a free-to-play game on the promise that your live service part is going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, I think some of the character designs might be overhated too. Like I don't like, all right, some people would say like culture war was a big part of it.
Yeah.
I just don't think there was any pull to begin with.
I don't think so either.
How are you going to fight a war with one side?
Yeah.
There's no one on Concord's side, period.
I know.
There's no war going on.
Yeah.
But
well, a lot of the character design remind me of like, well, okay. So all the characters, yeah, they look different, but they're the same height, similar silhouettes.
Yes.
Like you cannot tell one character from another while playing.
And I think Overwatch actually does that really well. Is you're able to, no matter who's in the distance, you can pretty much tell who's shooting at you.
Yep.
Which is nice.
Yep.
I think that's something that the game does really well.
This one
Concord?
is so bad.
I was watching a gameplay. I was like, was that the same guy you just killed 5 minutes ago, or is that a different person? I cannot tell.
No, because they all look the same silhouetted.
Yeah.
And
it's, except for the big robot.
For a hero shooter, you already did it bad if you can't distinctly tell who the heroes are.
Yes. Even Valorant, if it's...
Well, even with like Valorant, right? Like you can
tell who it is.
You can tell who it is.
But I think what that has to do actually is a lot with how you apply shaders and filters to your games. Like Concord is a lot more realistic. It's a lot more monochrome, desaturated.
Yep.
So that makes it hard to notice your characters
100%,
from each other.
100%. It makes it hard to notice your characters, and then they chose not to give any distinguishing traits to them.
Well, if you watch the 7-8 minute CGI trailer, I actually liked the characters.
Yeah, it was
in
fun.
the trailer.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, oh, this is going to be a cool single player, like Guardians of the Galaxy-esque, game heist. Pulling off some heists.
Yep.
No, it's a hero shooter. I saw a lot of people online actually being like, I thought this was going to be a single player
game.
And with cutscenes like that, I mean, that would have sold a lot more than.
I agree. Like those were good cutscenes.
Yeah.
Speaking of single player games that have come out, Star Wars Outlaws released.
Oh yeah.
An absolutely mid Ubisoft coded game, like I said it was gonna be.
Okay, yeah, I said I was gonna wait until it came out, see what it's like. I mean, it's a single player Star Wars game. Decent, it's
the trouble I have is I've seen people saying, it's decent, it's not great, but it's whatever. I feel like we just have set our standards so low. I would call it a bad game.
Well, now let me say I agree with you first. Then let me bring up a counterpoint. It looks really pretty.
Once again,
which again I'm against.
Yeah.
But I'm against just basing a game off looks. But to say it's like the camera looks good. All right, the combat and the sneaking looks horrible.
Oh,
but
it's so bad.
The combat looks fine. It's fine. It's not bad. An actively bad game is different than a mid game.
Okay. The combat might be fine. You get one weapon.
Yes, I think that is kind of ludicrous.
And yeah, just being able to pick up other people's weapons does not count as having multiple weapons.
Because you don't get to keep them.
Yeah.
Or customize them.
Exactly.
Or do anything with them.
Exactly. And the modular system they have, you have 6 modules.
I don't even know what that means, but that sounds low.
It lets you upgrade your pistol, but it doesn't do anything to your pistol. You just have a upgraded pistol.
Oh, like it's just
bad.
a number.
It's just a number. It's a number add-on. And then all the quests are go here, steal this, go here, steal that. And functionally speaking, they're all the same.
Okay, well, what about? I haven't heard anything about the story, but I mean, I heard that there's a faction system and you can make choices to gain favor with different factions.
Yeah.
I like that in concept.
I do too, except for, go here, steal this, go here, steal this from them. But with a twist, you can betray them.
That's still cool the first couple times.
It's cool the first couple times when your game's 30 hours long and do it over and over.
I mean, I think if they just added, some. I mean, I haven't even really seen the game all that well. But what it sounds like it's missing is meat on the bones.
It does.
And that's just a Ubisoft problem.
It is a Ubisoft problem.
What's the term? It's like wide as the ocean, deep as a puddle.
Yeah.
That's kind of Ubisoft's thing.
Well, it is, because I've seen like the travel looks nice, the starfighting looks nice. I mean, it's hard to mess up starfighting, but they've done it. They've messed it up. And so I don't know. I feel like it is just a Ubisoft issue, right? I mean, there are parts that I dislike. It's a very hand-holdy game. Like you can climb something if it's the color yellow.
Okay, that's a way more general. That's not just a Ubisoft.
That's a gripe with the game industry.
Yes.
Entirely. It's the same gripe I have with like X-ray vision in games. It feels like a cop-out, cheaty. I don't need to see my enemy through a wall.
Mm-hmm.
I have ears. I have a sense of direction.
Okay.
But
I mean, depends on the game. Hitman has that, and I think it's cool.
I don't dislike Hitman because that's the point, right? And if you mess up, you take a lot of damage. And even like Assassin's Creed. But Assassin's Creed Mirage had X-ray vision I disliked a lot. You just get to see through walls because in Origins, you had to mark your enemies with your bird. So you still had to scout them out.
Yes. I thought that's pretty traditional for Assassin's Creed.
That is traditional. Mirage, you just get to see it.
Okay.
Which is so weird when they said we're going back to basics, whatever.
It's more stealth-like than action RPG-like. Yeah. So that's something.
It is something.
But, I feel like there's been a lot of like big budget games that are like realistically a 5 out of 10.
Well, that's because I feel like, and I think we've mentioned it before, they're just pandering to the shareholders.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I think they don't know what makes a game a game.
Well, yeah, here, have a thought for a second.
I'm thinking.
Just here's one thought.
Yep.
What's your average Sony shareholder look like?
Average Sony shareholder?
Yeah, shareholder. Someone who's bankrolling the Sony game. I picture old man sitting at a desk asking, why isn't my game making money?
Okay.
Yep. And you tell them that it's, XYZ issue. Gamers just want this. They're fickle, whatever, right? But gamers are more than just spreadsheets these days.
These days?
Well, yeah.
I guess.
Like we're not... I feel like there's so much culture and impact and social media and trends and all this and that you can't have a game be in development for 8 years based on a trend anymore.
Well, yeah, especially when trends come and go, like literally within a week.
Exactly. So your game has to be coded. That was based
off the 2016 Game of the Year.
Exactly.
Like Concord.
Exactly.
That trend's going to die out.
You have to base games based off of what makes a game good and not just chase a trend.
Yes.
Because you're going to lose the trend.
And what makes a game good?
There's a lot of fundamentals.
Gameplay.
But yes, I think gameplay makes a game good.
Which is why, Outlaws, I still consider a movie game because it's focused on one thing. Looking pretty.
Well, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty. I haven't seen many of the cutscenes, but I don't know. Any game that has me sit through a 5-minute cutscene to just try and pull an ice block from my dog's tongue is kind of cringe. But
I wouldn't know anything about it. So I have no opinion to add.
That's fair. That's fair. It feels contrived. I don't like it. It feels like bashing gamers as just you're stupid
Do you think the 5-minute cutscene is them saying
No. Sorry. Ubisoft, the way they've made games recently feels like they're telling their gamers they're stupid.
In what way?
Skull and Bones. This one.
So what's the pattern?
The pattern is that
I don't think
there's no consequence in a game.
Okay, maybe it's just I don't think that it's a personal attack on a game. I think they're just incompetent.
Well, I think it's because they think their gamers are stupid.
And that they'll just buy anything that they make.
Yeah.
See, all right, that's a point I can get behind, especially with they imagine, all right, I'm gonna buy the Star Wars IP because they'll buy anything Star Wars, which is true. Outlaws still sells, you know. But
it's just like they're making games that are rated T, rated whatever. I don't care about the rating. They're making games that are supposed to appeal to a big audience, right?
Yeah.
And then they child code it. Like
what do you mean by that?
Well, this goes back to I don't like painting the things you can climb yellow because it feels like I'm too stupid to do it or you were too lazy to make me climb more objects.
Well,
like here's climbable asset 1 of 10. Let's go stack it on a wall.
Well, I mean, it's a bigger thing because developers use that tricks in a lot more subtle ways.
Yeah, subtle
so really
ways.
it's them not wanting to do the subtle way.
Yeah.
Which you can call lazy, you can call whatever, but that's what
it's lazy.
Yeah.
Like you have a sorry, this is just more of another gripe because I've seen it done over and over and over again. You're climbing a vent, right?
Yep.
Okay. All smooth walls. Say for the one wall you're climbing, that's great. But they want you to climb across, so they're gonna make a weird cut that makes no sense other than to just tell you need to climb that way.
Okay.
And I'm like, you treat me like an idiot, right? I feel like the one game that color coded things well, and I think it's mostly because it was parkour and it felt good, was Mirror's Edge. Like I didn't feel like they were holding my hand to color things.
Maybe you just don't like the color yellow.
Color yellow is stupid.
I mean, I feel like because that game is that game, but red.
Well, yeah, except I can still the whole point of that is parkour, right?
Yeah.
And so I can choose different parkour paths now.
So if they give you 3 different yellow options, would you be okay with that?
I'd feel a little better because there's some semblance of you're giving a character choice.
Okay.
But I still don't necessarily like it because it takes no skill. It's just waste time.
No
you have to
skill,
climb a wall.
Waste time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm at with you on that. I mean, I think just in general, it's a fine mechanic because people are that stupid, which is the other side of it.
Raise the average IQ, make games harder.
Easy peasy. Yeah, I mean people just are that stupid sometimes.
I mean, I get it, but Lego Star Wars didn't even do that. And that's for children.
You know, I suppose you're right. I'm thinking about it. They had other ways of leading.
Well, yeah, they had other ways of leading. Mostly if you were stuck for 5 minutes, it would start flashing at you, but
yes.
And then make you feel stupid.
Yes.
But, even games meant for children have more complicated levels than games made for adults these days.
Yeah, because it's about the look.
Yeah, I know it's about the look. There was a puzzle game that recently came out. There was a puzzle game that recently came out, and I can't remember what it is. It was one of the Tomb Raider clone things.
I don't know.
It was a Western shooter, like last year. Anyway, every single movable object was in red, and you had to move it to the red space, like glowing red space. You didn't have to think. It wasn't a puzzle, even though it was a puzzle game.
Well, maybe it's not how the objects are identified, but how you solve the puzzle that makes the puzzle.
I don't know. From everything I saw, it was just move box 1 to box B, and it told you how to do it.
I don't know. I think the present, I think it's a little...
Like what happened to the Tomb Raider puzzles, where you had to sit there and think about it, like how does this puzzle open?
I never played Tomb Raider, so I can't even add anything. But I assume it's very nice and lovely, considering that Lara Croft is an icon of gaming.
Yes, they're great. I really like the puzzles.
Yeah, actually, I played the first reboot one halfway through.
Yeah,
whenever that came out, was that 2013?
It was like 2013 or 14.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Anyway, games have been mid this year.
Some games have been. A lot of AAA games.
A lot of AAA
are
games
missing the mark because they're not making games. They're making
movies.
Or
that
they're
you
making
play.
Environments.
They're making environments.
Environments
They're
or
all like,
cutscenes
oh
or movies.
my goodness, I have Unreal Engine 5. I can just all over a screen and it looks nice.
Yep.
That's my thought.
See, you say this, but you don't care that much about gameplay either.
I care mostly about gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh. Next topic.
Yeah. All right. Next topic. 2007.
Oh, we're doing Game of the Year now.
Yeah. Game of the Year. Why not switch it up? Talk about games from the past.
This one,
17 years ago at this point.
I'm going to tell you, I'm not happy with the picks.
Yeah, I haven't heard the picks. I don't really know a lot of games.
2007.
World of Warcraft, though.
The Wii. World of Warcraft, yes.
The Wii was out. Xbox 360 is out. And the only reason why I know that is because Sonic 06 was on the Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 3 was not out. Not out yet. But it's coming soon. Handhelds were on the DS.
Yep.
And PSP.
Yep.
That's where we're at in gaming space right now. Gaming space is like, from where we started, like 1997.
Yep.
1996 or something like that.
We're moving up in the world.
This is like, with Halo and sports games, it's starting to become, not cringe.
I know,
to play
right?
games.
I know.
Well, it's still cringe to play like Shura's Wrath or like or more versus Capcom 2. But
those are just like nerdy games.
Yeah. But if you play like some Madden or Halo,
you're cool if you play Madden.
We're not projecting, I swear. But yeah, hit me with what were the picks?
BAFTA.
Yes.
Chose BioShock.
BioShock 1.
Yes. Great game.
Yes.
Love that game. Now, I don't like Dice's pick. I get the pick. It's Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Okay, Modern Warfare
game,
1.
Fine game. That's Infinity Ward that made that one.
Yep.
Fine game. They both first-person shooters won that year.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. The tricky part I have is just what other games came out.
Yeah. Okay. So hold on. Before we go on.
Yep.
Is it still just those two really doing like the big game of the year?
The big game of the years, yes. I mean, there's other ones.
I know publishing companies were starting to do theirs around like early 2000s. But I think for the most part,
these are like the only two people really doing awards.
And like with merit.
Yeah, I mean, Japan's been doing theirs the whole time.
Yes, but
they
it's a little
only
different.
really do Japanese games. Like they chose Super Mario Galaxy and Monster Hunter Portable second.
Yes.
Like
fantastic. They care about games.
they mostly just pick Japanese games.
They care about games, but they make such good games.
dude, literally, they rarely choose something that's not Japanese.
That's true. But when does the West choose something that's Japanese?
Is FromSoft?
Can't think of it off the top of my head. I think so.
Yeah.
Miyazaki.
And
Miyazaki. Yeah,
FromSoft, Capcom. I mean, the West chooses Japanese companies.
Yeah, but not during this time.
Just not super often.
Yeah.
And then the Game Awards didn't come around till 2014. Game Dev Choice Award was not really a big thing back then. I remember it being more of just a pat on the back from other game devs.
Yes.
But they chose Portal for 2007.
Yeah. So just hearing those three games coming out in the same year, we need to hear the whole list.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tight.
So the big list of 2007. So let's pick some of the nominated games from 2007 first. So you've got Super Mario Galaxy.
That was like the first game to win an award for a soundtrack.
Yep, on the Wii.
Yep.
And then you have the Orange Box from Valve for the Xbox 360.
Okay, but that's just a collection. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got BioShock for 360 and Windows.
2K.
Modern Warfare for 360 and PlayStation 3. Yes.
Infinity Ward, as you said.
Halo 3 on the Xbox 360.
Microsoft. Halo 3 is amazing. Got to give a shout out to Halo 3.
Yep. Technically speaking, Elder Scrolls Oblivion released on the PlayStation 3.
But that wasn't his first release.
Yeah, it wasn't his first release. Yeah. God of War 2 on PS2.
Yep.
Galactic Civilizations 2, which I enjoyed, but Team Fortress 2.
Man, dude, what the heck?
I know, right?
Okay.
Guitar Hero 2.
Yep.
Rock Band, which was like the counter to Guitar Hero.
Yep. I like Rock Band a lot.
I like Rock Band a lot.
I like Rock Band more than Guitar Hero. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. Sorry, I like Rock Band more than Guitar Hero.
The only reason I chose Guitar Hero over Rock Band is because all the collections were compatible with each other, and you had a lot more songs when you did that.
But Rock Band had a lot more to do with the microphone and the drums and the different instruments and stuff really like that. So you were a band.
Yep.
And that was cool.
Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition.
Yes. No, you laugh, but that was the best way to play.
I think the Wii was a phenomenal console. 10 out of 10. World of Warcraft, The Burning Crusade came out. Blizzard Entertainment.
So that's an expansion.
It's an expansion, yes.
When did
2006, I believe.
Okay. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Mass Effect
1.
Yes. Microsoft Game Studios. That's a Microsoft game. Did we talk about that on this podcast before?
No.
Like, does Microsoft make games?
Yes, we have made many jokes.
This is back when Microsoft made games.
Halo 3 and Mass Effect.
Yes.
And they were making Gears of War around this time as well.
Yeah.
So.
Crisis from EA.
Hey, sweet.
Half-Life 2 Episode 2. Forza Motorsport 2.
Forza's always good.
Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. There are so many good games.
I like Phantom Hourglass.
Uncharted Drake's Fortune, Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh!
World in Conflict.
Wait,
that's more.
Hold on. Yeah. Symphony of the Night. I'm pretty sure it's a PlayStation 1. What is that?
This is on 360.
Oh, okay. You're okay.
Sorry, these are re-releases as well.
Well, that's a 99 game.
They're technically nominated because it was remastered for 360.
Okay.
So it is different game.
Yes.
But
great.
I mean, you got to consider re-releases, at least remasters when it comes down to it.
Resident Evil 4 remake can get on the game of the year. So
yeah, Hitman Trilogy for PlayStation 2. So that's
old Hitman.
Great
Hitman.
So I mean, the list is fantastic.
What Wii games were coming out in 2007? I know Wii Sports Resort, or was that 2008 or 9?
No, it's 8 or 9. That was with Wii. This is Plus. Wii Sports this year.
I thought that was 2006. It came with the copies of the Wii.
You're right. That was the number one game sold though in 2007.
Yeah, because Wii blew up. And it came with every copy of
a just remember, this is the year before the market crash.
How, what does that have to do?
Everyone had disposable income this
Everyone
year.
was having a great time playing Wii bowling.
This is the best year to be alive before no one can afford anything again.
I mean, they can play off their woes.
Just a note, Wii Sports sold over 15 million copies worldwide in just 2007.
There you go.
Which is crazy.
There you go.
Which is crazy.
Which Pokemon game came out? Because I'm sure there's a Pokemon game that
Diamond
came out.
Pearl was the most purchased.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's the one that came out, though.
Because I'm pretty sure they had one coming out every year until Black and White.
I think they did.
There's no way. It might have been Heart Gold Soul Silver, actually. It was after. That was after Diamond Pearl.
Okay, so I would not know unless it came out in NA.
Because the Japan releases are a little. They come out a bit earlier.
Yeah,
so that makes sense.
Sonic and the Secret Rings.
I played that one.
Did you?
I would try to sing the theme song, but I'd make a fool out of myself.
That would.
But it's so, dude, that's so funny. You start the game. It's like make believe it. It was crazy.
You tried anyway.
And it was funny because it was like desert themed, and genies and stuff like that, and it had like a hard metal, not hard metal, but it had a pretty angst rock intro song. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
You got to listen to Seven Rings in Hand. That's pretty funny.
Diamond and Pearl was 2006.
Yes. Did they not release a game
I don't
in 2007?
see one in 2007.
Man, I really thought there was.
2007 was a skip because 2008 is platinum.
Great game.
They were practically doing every year though. They just missed a couple.
Yes, which in hindsight's good. The new Pokemon game is getting delayed to, or not. I don't even know if it's delayed, but it's not coming out this year, which is awesome for Pokemon fans because it means that they're spending time making a game instead of pumping one out every year. So, but Back to 2007.
Yes.
This is like a super close, super hard race.
Yes.
I would love to say like all of them.
I know.
Of them.
I don't think that I would pick Modern Warfare. It's not Modern Warfare 2. It's
Modern Warfare 1.
It's Modern Warfare 1.
Campaign. The campaign.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but correct me if I'm wrong, that campaign was 6 hours max?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was 6 hours.
Okay, fine. Yeah, whatever.
Like BioShock, for instance.
I'm not going to choose Modern Warfare 1, but...
I would feel bad if you chose Modern Warfare 1. The question is BioShock Game of the Year that year, though? There's a lot of great games.
So, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
So BioShock, not World of Warcraft, because that was an expansion.
Mass Effect.
I wouldn't choose Mass Effect 1. If it was Mass Effect 2.
Half-Life 2 Episode 2.
I wouldn't choose that either, personally.
Drake's Fortune for Uncharted.
See, now that's a good game.
That is a good game.
That's a really good game.
Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. I don't think...
I like it, but it's definitely not even in this conversation.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Portal.
Portal is up there for me. It's like...
Portal is super high for me. It's
BioShock just has
the
like
trouble
the
is, it's not Portal 2. But Super Mario Galaxy for the Wii.
I know.
Is might be the only Super Mario that I would genuinely say Game of the Year worthy.
My top 3, as you might be able to guess,
yes.
is BioShock, Galaxy, TF2.
Yes. TF2 is so great. I've always struggled with giving Game of the Year to shooters like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Overwatch deserved it because it was new and out there. The TF2 is still around, like big time. Big time.
The legacy is there.
I know, but Game of the Year.
And there's a reason for it. I would give it many awards, but I mean, I'm gonna say this is so tough because really I'm choosing between BioShock and Galaxy.
Yeah.
I played, and my experience is like I grew up playing a lot of Mario Galaxy, replayed it recently.
Yeah.
Amazing, like just amazing world design, amazing soundtrack, amazing gameplay.
The big thing here,
Rosalina Mommy,
is BioShock Remastered is so much better than BioShock, and Super Mario Galaxy is still good. I think that's the difference. I think that's the difference here for me. Like I would pick
but like the twist in BioShock 1,
I know.
It made me be like, this game, like, because I was playing through and I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. This is a good game. But then you get to the twist and you're like, I wasn't because I didn't get spoiled on it. So I was like, what? That's so cool. And I was like, for the time too.
I'm struggling here because like I genuinely kind of want to give it to Galaxy. The one time you're gonna get me to try and give it to a Nintendo game. Yeah. But you are right? I guess the trouble I have is, looking backwards, right? Galaxy holds up.
Mm-hmm. But TF2 holds up.
Well, TF2 holds up, but I don't think that's Game of the Year.
Yeah. Okay. I, in very non-biased opinion, would have to give it to Galaxy.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think I would have to give it to Galaxy as well.
And like, all right, so that probably has one of my favorite hubs in gaming, period. I love Rosalina's Observatory. I love all the different, secrets you can find, the library and all that stuff. You beat the game, you can play as Luigi, like what the heck, you get all the stars, you get the flight thing, you can fly around the place. The levels are so good, the gravity mechanics, like you can totally break that.
Yeah, it's a games game.
It's a game.
It's a games game.
It's a games game.
Yes.
It's not no movie. That's for sure. And that pretty dang good game.
Yes. I think that Galaxy wins it for me, but I completely understand the BioShock pick.
Yes. I mean, I think BioShock is a great pick. Yes. I'm not going to blame BAFTAs.
I do think it's...
so BAFTAs picked BioShock and DICE was the one that
DICE chose COD 4.
I think that's just because of how big COD is.
It was massive. Like, don't get me wrong. It was massive. It was a shooter game that... Because, like, even like World War like the first couple COD games were sort of niche, right? They were very violent. No, not everyone is playing them. Whatever. Like I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong. It could have been COD 3, but Modern Warfare I think is the first one that really feels mainstream.
Yes, and it like World of War was like it was starting to bust in, and then Modern Warfare kind of kicked the door open.
Yeah, like World at War is certainly like when did YouTube start?
It was 2006.
I was about to say like World at War was like
you get some old
YouTube
like, Nocturne Toten gameplay with the quality Xbox
and so
mics.
it's like starting to come out, right? And then Modern Warfare hits the ground,
and you're getting Phase 360 no scope clips. Doritos,
it's a
Mountain
mainstream
Dew,
COD game,
and it affected culture.
Yes,
it did affect like just main Western culture.
I definitely think that year was definitely tinted by the social media craze. You know, we're starting to get in that period where all of a sudden now Game of the Year shows have to contend with, was it actually good or was it just people
liking it?
Yeah. Which I think we're going to run into a lot of those issues going forward. Where we're going to be like, this is definitely not Game of the Year. So
yeah, I mean, and this time particular in gaming history is like the passion is still like all there. People are obviously feeding the beast, and making, pumping up the big companies.
Yeah.
But like most games that are made are games,
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's still a new genre, right?
Yes.
Like the Wii is the first console that breaks into not just millennials.
Yeah, or control. It's your you got your grandma.
You got your grandma playing, and it's big, and so video games are now just starting to become something more mainstream.
I mean, like the world record for like most Wii bowling games played is held by like to be honest, he's probably dead by now.
Probably,
but it was like an 88-year-old guy like a while ago.
Yeah, it's a completely different time period, right? Like everyone just wanted a Wii for Christmas. I got an Xbox 360.
I got a Wii.
I got an Xbox 360 with the Kinect though.
Okay.
So
I
think I've
was
talked
the
about
Kinect
this.
out on. It didn't come out with a Kinect though.
No, it did. That was like 2 years later.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, it's just this is such an amazing time for like games in general, and you have like 360, Wii, PS3's coming soon, DS. Like this is like so many, and it's like the sheer volume of games that are being made and how many of them are good. Now with the Wii, don't get me wrong. Shovelware galore. Shovelware just up the wazoo. And DS too. The DS and Wii were shovelware machines because they sold everything. Everything sold on the Wii.
It was so easy to make a game for the Wii. Motion capture, just swing an arm. Like, yeah, I understand how so much trash was put out, but I will say that is definitely it's everything issue, right? There's so much garbage on everything.
Exactly. Like the garbage that comes up now, like the only difference is instead of a licensed game, it's made by a AAA studio.
Yeah, I was about to say everything back then that was trash was just a licensed game.
Yes. Now it's the AAA.
Now it's just now it's AAA.
Crazy how that works.
It's still licensed games.
Yes. It's just it's Star Wars.
It's just IP
or Harry
slop.
Potter.
Speaking of licensed games, we completely skipped this. But the new Indiana Jones game looks really good.
It looks like a movie to me.
It looks really good.
I'm very critical of it at the moment.
It looks like a movie in the way Wolfenstein looks like a movie.
Okay.
And I love Wolfenstein.
Cool.
It's made by the same people.
Send me a gameplay trailer, please. Because I've seen like the one presentation where it's like a 5-6 minute long cutscene.
I've seen gameplay
I'm like,
where you get to actually use your whip as a weapon. And so you can hold your pistol in one hand, whip in the other, and some guy's shooting you. You whip him, spin him around, and gun him in the back of the head.
Are you shooting Nazis?
Yeah, it's Nazis.
Let's freaking go.
It's just Wolfenstein with Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Well, it's Wolfenstein was Indiana Jones with guns. So let's be real.
Yeah.
Not besides the
I mean, I have nothing wrong with punching Nazis. It's a really great theme.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even the biggest Indiana Jones guy, period.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm excited that a licensed game might be good.
Well,
I've
seen so many people saying it might be Game of the Year contender, which is great.
2025. or is it 2026?
It's coming out this year.
This year?
Yeah.
I didn't care enough to know that.
It's coming out this year.
We got a lot of good games still coming
It might
out.
be redemption for IP games since Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Which
that game was good.
Everyone who thinks Spider-Man 2 got gypped is wrong.
I agree. I agree. Sorry, guys. But
so many people. Was that last year?
No.
Wasn't it beat by Baldur's Gate?
Yes.
Yeah, that was last year.
No. Wait.
Yes.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But that sounds about right. I remember mainstream people being upset that Baldur's Gate won because
which is so lame because they
want their movies.
And they want their movie game.
Yeah. Anyway, but not Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man 2 did have a lot more cutscenes than Spider-Man 1. So
it did.
I would consider it more movie.
But swinging through New York is still fun.
Yes, it really makes you feel
like Spider-Man.
Like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for the rest of the games coming out this year, and I'm still so excited for Monster Hunter Wilds. They've been the Gamescom.
Did that get delayed again?
No, it's never been.
It's still on track.
Yeah, early 25. They're having demos out. People are playing it. People are talking about it. You're seeing full quests from beginning.
Are the NDAs released yet, or is it is gameplay out?
Yeah, gameplay's out. Like these are demos that were at PAX.
Okay.
And Gamescom and all that. Like people were playing the game for a long time.
Because I was seeing Civ 7 just released their NDAs on opinions, but not on gameplay yet.
Oh. Okay.
Because they had full demos, like 6-hour demos for.
And what are the opinions that have been released?
Civ 7 is looking to be completely different from Civ 6.
And that's good for traditional Civ fans, correct? Because I believe they like 5.
Yes.
I know a little bit, but not a lot.
It's a mix. It's kind of a wash. So there's a lot of things people are very excited for. The tedium of units, it's now going to be sort of a waypoint system. So great generals are gone. You now just have generals. And then all your generals can group together into one army and then move, and then you can deploy them. So there's less map clutter.
Oh, okay. Like less points to click on and manage per turn.
And then they completely changed the district system. So you know how you would put down like a military district and you have to build in the military district sorts of different things?
Yeah.
Now it's more of like a modular organic.
I'm like a very beginner, and you know this. I'm a very beginner Civ player.
Long story short.
I don't even really know what an end game looks like. So
long story short.
You can still nuke, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's still good.
Civ fans are completely split.
Okay.
They either love these changes because they hated them in Civ 6, or they love Civ 6 and they're going to hate these in Civ 7.
Yeah.
Which the game devs...
That's just how it goes.
I can't remember if it's the devs or if it was like a tangential spokesperson who said it, but I think they said something along the lines of, if you don't like the changes we're making, just keep playing Civ 6.
And that's what people did with Civ 5.
And that's what they did with Civ 5.
So I'm sure they'll live.
Yeah. Like, there's no reason not to, right? Play the version you like the most.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. People still play 20-year-old games like TF2 and Melee and all like that because that's the version they like.
I know.
So that's what people will do.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, if you have a game you like, there's no reason you need to buy the next version.
What if you get bored?
Well, then you go buy a different game, right?
Yeah,
you don't need to buy the same game with updated graphics.
Yes.
That being
Unless
said,
you're
I bought
FIFA.
Skyrim 4 times.
4 times?
Yeah.
I bought it twice, I guess.
Yeah.
One of them was on Steam, so it was probably like a dollar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're on sale every time, but I bought it when it first remastered. Well, okay, I bought the original.
Well, yeah.
I bought it when they remastered like
Special
10
edition?
years ago, and then I bought the special edition.
Okay. An anniversary
And then
edition?
I bought the anniversary edition because it had the updated system.
Wow.
And I mean, it was only like $10 each time.
Is Todd Howard coming to dinner too? Like, no, what the heck?
I wish. It was only like $10 each time. Like, I wasn't.
I don't think that matters at that point.
No. I bought 4 copies of the game for the cost of 1 copy full price.
You bought the original for $10.
No, I bought the original full price.
Yeah, okay.
I practically bought 2 copies full price.
You know what? I'm glad you're happy. But holy crap.
I probably have like 600 hours in Skyrim.
I'm working on it. I hit I know on the Xbox 360 is what I played it on. I beat the main story and I did Guild and Dark Brotherhood. But I doubt it got past 50 or 60 hours. I'm already on 60 hours on the modded one.
Yeah.
So
no, it's really easy to sink time in.
Yeah, and it's just like, in Skyrim, it's like, all right, I'm gonna go visit my 8th hold now. It's like, oh, actually, let me do these couple side quests.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this side quest has me going through a whole dungeon.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shoot, I gotta actually like play the game.
I know.
Well, it's always fun. And great.
The one downside I've always had with Skyrim is the leveling system.
And I changed it.
You did?
Yes.
So is there now zoned levels, or
Well, so
how's your thing doing it?
yes, so
Full circle, Skyrim again.
yes, back to Skyrim. I have called experience.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of leveling up your skills to get experience, you get experience from completing quests
Okay.
and finding new locations.
Okay, so you can't just sneak in a corner by a bear and get all your levels?
Yes.
Okay.
And it scales, and it's really nice, and you can change it in mod configuration. But I haven't needed to yet.
Mm-hmm.
In addition, I hate the perks in basic Skyrim. To me, it feels like bigger number, which for most part it
It's an
is.
RPG. It's
It
kind
is.
of, yeah.
It is. I have the Ordinator mod, which is an amazing mod if you play it again. Even if you're just doing a standard playthrough, you don't want to overmod it. Play with Ordinator.
Okay.
A perk would be each different weapon type for one-handed weapon. That's a different effect. Like daggers will do bleed.
Yep.
And like specialize in sneak attacks, that sort of thing. I am leveling up enchanting because there is a perk where you can store a spell
Yeah.
in a weapon.
Yeah.
And then when you do a power attack, it will release that spell each time.
Oh, that's cool.
And the higher level enchanting you are, the lower the cooldown.
Oh, that's very cool.
Stuff like that. There's the conjuration spells are really fun. There's one called the Rat King, where every time you enter combat, you get 3 skeevers that go in with you. It included this whole skeleton army system where you can have skeleton followers that don't add to your minion count.
That's cool.
And you get new skeletons by collecting bones of defeated enemies.
Oh, that's cool.
And then you go to a skeleton's altar, and then depending on how much base magica you have, you get more skeletons.
Oh, that's really cool.
So the conjuration stuff's really cool. The magic was the best part about it, because instead of, you would never use frost in Skyrim because everything has frost resistance. This actually, frost spells actually freeze. Shock spells will levitate people in the air with certain perks, and fire actually spreads a lot more and does bonus effects based on what's burnt.
Nice.
So
just a lot of little fixes then.
yes, it makes me feel like beforehand you should be like, just throw it in one-handed, or it's like, I need to throw it in the sneak.
You now think about it.
But now it's like, I kind of want to throw it into alchemy.
Yeah.
I kind of want to throw it into my smithing, because I can smith an automatron that'll fight along with me. So stuff like that, it's kind of, it reshapes the way I think about building my character.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I'm trying to do so many different things with my character, so I'm kind of bad at everything.
I think the last time I played Skyrim, I modded the crap out of it.
Yeah.
So I was like running around with an AK-47 shooting tiny pigs at Thomas the Tank Engines.
I'm still playing Skyrim.
Yeah.
So
I was not playing Skyrim anymore at that point.
Yeah. So, but it's been a blast.
Yeah.
Just like this episode has been. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on our socials and keep up with us. Maybe hit that notification bell. Know when we post next time. It's been pretty fun.
It's been real.
It's been real. I've been Cade.
I've been Micah.
And see you guys later.
Bye.